All right, good morning, everyone. Dan the Glassman here. You're watching the Glassman's World. We're about to get started on some more glass, making some more hot air balloons, such as these right here. You can see we got this one pretty much complete. That thing looks dope. Yeah, look at that. Can't even tell the difference. And then we got this one here as well, which came out all right. Came out all right, all right. That one I got to get that twist a little bit less. I spun it up a little bit too much. But you can see. I just got to twist it up a little bit less so it doesn't spin around too sideways like that. We did a couple different takes on it. Let's see if this one's a little bit better here. That's a little bit better. But still, that one goes sideways quite a bit. We're close. Pretty close right there. Alright, so we're going to get started on some more glass today, guys. I'm not sure exactly which balloons we're going to be making. Maybe since we have the colors all ready to go here, maybe we'll just make another one of these just to get started for the day. Give me a moment. I'm going to go get some water. I'll be right back. Let's make sure that we have all the comments coming through today on the live chat. That way it's not just top chat, all the live chat and everything. So thank you for tuning in. I'll be right back. Just give me a moment. you guys. I'm back. Sorry for that delay. You know, I grabbed my water right away, but I was actually I'm looking for my grinder. I have no idea where that is. So we've been working on a bunch of hot air balloons lately. There's a whole entire bunch of them in there. And then we got those really nice ones that look like the ones here on the cards. So you got that one there. And then you got the yellow one as well. So that's what I do, guys. I replicate hot air balloons. Or sometimes, I mean, I do a lot of different things. So let's see if we can, let's make this one. How about that? You want to work on that one for the day? So we can do this one here for the day. Alright, well, you know me, it's the morning, it's time for our early morning wake and bake session. I really wish that I had my grinder, because it was a lot quicker. It's like, oh, we gotta do it the old school way, huh? So I gotta find something. Oh, we got the old school tray. Doing it the old school way. Alright, so what is going on, guys? So today it is, I believe it's Thursday. So I'm actually expecting a package in the mail today, which I'm really excited about because it's going to help us with water, guys. I don't know if you guys are concerned about the water issues and the water crisis that's going on recently, in recent times, but we are in it. We are facing it. The water is being depleted completely in front of our eyes, and many individuals are pretty much blind to it still because, see, the thing is, there's this false reality. You know, everywhere around the world, they're talking about running out of water. We're all running out of water, but yet you can still go to your tap and turn it on. There is no difference in pressure. So yes, you're hearing that, oh, we're running out of water, but because it's coming out of our taps directly and we don't see any kind of pressure loss, we don't see that there's any sort of limit, we could literally turn our faucets on right now and just leave them on running, and it would seem like they would never run out. You know, it just continuously run, right? Now, I'm not suggesting you do that. Please don't do that. Please conserve as much water as you possibly can. But what I'm just saying is that right now there's this false reality that there's plenty of water, right? But then if you go to other certain places, like let's say Las Vegas, New Mexico, I guess we've gotten enough rains that the water, they were saying that they only had like 50 days of water left, right? And then it dropped to 30 days of water left, and now only 20 days of water left. And now the other day they're saying, only 30 days of water left. Like, wait, you already said it was 20, now it's back to 30, okay. So it fluctuates. But even them, they're about to run out of the water in Las Vegas, New Mexico. So there are individuals who have run out of water. There are individuals who, in recent, I don't know about you guys, but I watch a lot of YouTube videos and spend a lot of time watching, educating myself on how other individuals, survivalists, preppers, off-grid livers, camp lifers, I'm all about that camp life. I love to go camping, love to sleep in a tent. If we could live in a tent, that'd be awesome. But it's not easy for everyone. For me, it's like Disneyland, it's a walk in the park. But for others, they may need air conditioning. They may need some way of being able to relax and rest a little bit better than just laying in a tent or going hiking all day or something like that. So I love camp life. I love all that stuff, and I watch a lot of these videos, and so there's a lot of different preppers and survivalists recently who has been they've been struck by the floods recently. People in let's say like in Georgia. I'm trying to remember exactly where. Kentucky, I believe, had a lot of flooding. I mean, there are places in Vegas, um, California. There's a lot of different individuals where the people are getting flooded. And what's interesting is, you're watching all these preppers from like years ago, and just watching them. New videos come out every day, every week, whatever their schedule is. I don't have a schedule. I just kind of just go random. Whenever I have time is my schedule. So thank you. I appreciate you guys coming in and watching today. So a lot of these individuals I've been watching for months, for years. Some are brand new. Some I just barely stumbled upon, and some I've been watching for years and years and years. And it's interesting to watch how they've been prepping, what suggestions they're giving everyone else, what others should be doing, what they should be doing, what other things they can be doing, and then you see them actually in the scenario where, we got floods, we have power outages. They just gave us a boil water warning where we have to boil our water now because the water has become desecrated and polluted, and so now you got to boil your water. So, being an individual like that myself, I know that there are several things. There are many things that you really need to focus on, right? But specifically, in order to survive, the main things that you really need: food, water, shelter, and love. Without those things, people can't survive. People can't thrive. So you really, really, really do have to focus on water, on food, on shelter, and then love. And love comes in a variety of many forms. Love doesn't mean just being in a relationship. Love doesn't mean just loving one other individual. You can love life. You can love God. You can love food. You can love nature. You can love being alone. You got to have some way of keeping you mentally happy. Is what it truly is. That love may come in the form of entertainment. You may love to play guitar. You may love to do puzzles. So you got to have some form of love with you as well, with all this other prep stuff. And so knowing that water is like, on top of that list, water is life, right? Water is life, and every drop counts. So knowing water's on the top, food, shelter, love, they're all up there. We need them all pretty much equally. Some people, they can have food and water, but still be miserable because they can't find love, or they haven't found that passion of what to live for in life. which is that form of love as well. And so I'm just real excited because today we've got some Aqua Crest filters, which are extremely similar to the Berkey filters. The only difference is we got a 4-pack for $80 instead of buying a 2-pack from Berkey for $160. Now I've looked into AquaCrest, and they have some of the highest ratings for reverse osmosis filtration. And being that that's the case, they know what they're doing as far as filtration. So I would highly recommend them, and I trust that their filtration is going to be as good as the Berkey. Now, the reason why I say that, knowing that Berkey actually has some of the highest standards in the market or whatever, but those standards are actually self-proclaimed because their test results come from their own independent third-party studies. So it's their own independent third-party studies. They have not sent the Berkey filters to an actual testing lab for them to truly have their stuff tested. Now, also, what I was told is that the Berkey filters only tested out got these test results from running like 1/3 the capacity of what the water filtration is supposed to do. So they claim that their water filters can handle up to, 3 gallons of filtering water? 3,000 gallons. Let's say 2,000. It might only be 2,000. I believe it's 3,000 though. So they claim that their filters can clear out all this stuff, bacteria, protozoa, heavy metals, all these different things. But the actual test results, they only ran like maybe 1/3 of the water. And I heard that they actually only ran like a few liters of water through their filters and then tested it. So they didn't run 2,000 or 3,000 gallons of water first and then see what the test results are, because it should provide protection up to 2,000 gallons or 3,000. It could be 3,000. I think it is 3,000 per filter, and for when you get 2 of them, then it's like 6,000 gallons. You're good for like 10 years. We got a 4-pack. So does that mean we're good for 20 years? It's possible. I don't know what the filtration, like if just sitting in a package and on the shelf, what that aging process is, if it loses its filtration power, potency, just by sitting there not doing anything, So that's one thing that I wonder. But I'm really excited about these AquaCrest filters that are coming in. They're exactly like the black Berkey filters. And I will be going live. And I don't know about today, but as soon as we get them, I'm going to get some white food grade buckets, 5-gallon buckets. And we're going to drill some holes into one of the buckets. Well, into both of them, actually. We're going to put a spigot on the bottom bucket. We're going to put a top on that bottom bucket. We're going to put a hole through that top. We're going to set another bucket on top of there with the filters going through with holes on the bottom. So the filters can basically just filter out water directly to that bottom bucket with the spigot. We'll have the top bucket with the lid, no holes, so we can keep our water clean, free of mosquitoes, free of bugs, free of contaminants, dust, dirt, debris, anything. And that way, we'll be able to have some really awesome water. Now, the other thing is that we use a Niken water filtration Pi Mag filtration system. So I'm thinking that we might be able to just run the water through the Berkey. We can run rainwater through, well, aquacrust. Sorry, they're not Berkeys. They're aquacrust. So we could run rainwater through the aquacrust, then run it through the Nikin in order to bring back some of the minerals from the pie mag and the coral, the calcium coral rocks on the bottom. I've heard that those Berkey filters, they make the water taste weird. So we'll find out what they mean by that. So we're going to be trying these out very soon. I would highly recommend everyone get some sort of water filtration, especially a way. I would suggest learning how to use like a activated charcoal, biochar, um, and sand and rocks and different things, different items. You can use plant material, specific plant material that will actually help to filter out the water and remove different toxins and things, as well as some plants can also provide a flavor or a taste to your water, which is really nice. You can even add mint. Imagine just adding some mint into your water filtration so your water is always minty, nice and fresh. Wouldn't that be awesome? So just a reminder, cannabis is recreational here in New Mexico. If you'd like to join me in a morning wake and bake sesh, please go on ahead and do so now. Roll one up, load one up, take a rip, do a bong toke, do some dabs, whatever you'd like to do. I'm actually going to start offering a service very soon here where people can hire me to just come and smoke with them. I'm going to be a cannabis consultant for hire, and you can actually hire me as on a one-on-one session. I can come to your home. I can teach you smoking etiquette. I can teach you the ways of smoking. If you want to smoke, if you want to vape, if you want to just do digestibles and edibles and things like that, if you just want to consume it that way instead of consuming it by burning and smoking or vaping. I could also teach how to cook with cannabis and things like that. So these are just some cool ideas. I figure since we're going to be blowing glass today and we're talking about current events, these are some of the ideas that are going in my head, and it's something that I am going to make happen. So if anyone wants to hire me, we're probably going to start at $20 an hour for me to just come by and chill and hang out and teach you the ways. I can teach you how to roll with glass crutches. So that way you can use a glass crutch and have it all nice right there. And I don't know if you've ever used crutches or not. I'm going to start making them orange so that way when they're underneath the paper, it's just going to look like a cigarette. Shh. Don't tell nobody. Just kidding. I don't care. People steal ideas all the time, especially in the glass blowing community. Glass artists are cutthroat. They will take your ideas and run with them because they know they can make money. And they don't care. They don't offer any respect. They don't give you pay any homage to you. They're just like, whatever's. I'm going to make those. You making them for 10, I'll make them for 8. You're like, what? You just cut yourself short $2 on each one. You could have kept it for 10. You could have even asked for 12. But it's interesting. So, yeah, I've got some cool ideas about being a cannabis consultant. And I'm going to make it legit. I'm going to actually do this. I've been an advocate for cannabis since about 1994. I probably started smoking before that. As a user of cannabis, I think maybe around 92. Apparently, I've been around it my whole life. You know, you start going to those first parties in high school and stuff, and then you smell them smoking the reefer stick in the other room, and you're like, that smells familiar. You're like, oh yeah, that came from my dad's room. That came from my mom's room. Oh yeah, when they had parties, there was always that smell. And you recognize that old school smell, that old school scent. It's interesting. Every once in a while, if you don't smoke and then you get a whiff, you're like, oh, it's a different kind of smell than this smelling the greens and the buds and the leaf and the flower. There's something that's reminiscent about this old school lingering cannabis smell that I can't really describe it. All I know is that when I smell it, and maybe it's just the strain, maybe there's a certain strain that I smell, and then it's like, oh, and it brings back memories of my childhood, All right, well, it's already been 30 minutes of me just yapping away. We've been smoking a little bit. Let's get to blowing glass. So those of you who've been watching this whole time, you're probably like, damn, this guy ever gonna blow glass? I'll make sure to put in the description you can fast forward 30 minutes if you want to just watch the glass blowing portion. Okay, so we're going to attempt to make this one again, right here. So, let me take a look at the colors again. I may have to still this from time to time. Alright, let's just do this. We'll go with the red. And you got the purple. And the light blue. The dark blue. The light, right, the dark green, the light green. And then yellow, orange, red. And okay, no pink, so I'm gonna move this one out of the way so I don't accidentally grab that. Alright. Let me look at this balloon here real quick. Alright, so this is the one we're gonna be working on today, guys. I'm going to take a look at the one I've already made. And just see what's done here. Okay. Alright, so that's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to basically make that one. Just like that. Woo. You like my CGI? My character generator. This thing is not really there. It's just virtual. I'm just kidding. That's pretty cool though, huh? I know how to do stuff analog still. We used to actually produce a show on Channel 27 called Hemp TV, and we were professional about it. We actually had ratings, national ratings, and yeah, it was really fun, a really good time. A shout out to all the guys from Delta 9 and the Hemp TV crew. It was an honor and privilege to work with all of you and to be able to help out with this cannabis movement here in New Mexico and actually create some real changes here. You know, we made it recreational. We did it. It took a lot of work, a lot of time. You know, 22 years ago. 23, I don't know, 97. So whatever that is. So 2017 would have been 20 years. So then that's 3, 5. So 25 years ago, guys. I'm going to try to get this computer up. All right, let's go. We've also been delaying because I kind of need to let my kiln get up to temperature. So the kiln's on. It's right here, right next to us. And I'm actually going to probably lift it up here soon. I'm going to bring another kiln in here and set this one on top of that one so I can just make room in the bedroom. Right? It's just sitting in there. Doesn't need to be in there. It's just taking up space. All right, so I need to round out the tip here. It's all kind of pointy. I don't know if you can see that. So we're going to round out the tip here. We're just going to kind of form like a marble at the end of the rod here. Alright, so now it's all rounded down. So this is when I can start adding the colors. So it's all rounded, you can see. Now we're going to start just adding those colors from top to bottom in that order. You know, and I think what I did is I actually put a little bit of blue on top. And then went into the red. I don't know what's on top of this balloon, so I'm just going into a dark color. I can play off of that red there. We'll get our carbon graphite paddle here. We'll just match that right down. And that way we can run the lines of color right next to that one. And then we're just going to run them next to each other from there. Just building them onto each other. Alright, so we're going to start with the red line here. Shape that, make sure that that bump is down. We got the red, and then the purple, trying to keep them separated. I'm going to grab the same one over and over again. This one needs to be cleaned up some. I'm just going to pull off a little bit of that color there. We're going to set that color down on the table. We can use that eventually as like a frit, like just a random kind of pattern of glass. We're going to add this light blue. I'm going to turn this flame down a little bit. We can have a little bit better control. And we're just running these lines right next to each other, almost on top of each other. So this one, I don't know how many colors this is. You know, this is one of those balloons that would be upwards of like, you know, $30 to $40 by itself. And I'm sure people are like, what? That's it? Like, yeah, I know I could actually probably ask like $100 on each one of these and people would pay it. But I've always been all about affordable glass and being able to get my glass to just, you know, all the individuals who would like it. You know, if it doesn't take me too long, I don't need to make so much money per hour. You know, as long as I got the things that I need in life, I'm happy. You know, as you can see, we're in a very crowded, little tiny 2-bedroom apartment, so it's not like we live above our means at all. We keep it pretty simple. Baby, be a simple kind of man. And be something you'll never understand. Alright, so kind of messed up that color a little bit. I gotta push it down some to even it out, or else my lines are gonna really, really look crooked here. And also, I gotta push that up where I started. That line was off from the beginning. Alright, so what else has been going on recently? So, recently, you know, I got to meet one of the Latin kings of comedy, Mr. Joey Medina, which I've met him before, and I got to re-meet him again and talk a little bit. It was cool because years ago when we met him, I took my family to go see him at the El Rey Theater here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was working at the theater there at the time, running the door, security, doing something. I don't remember exactly what I was doing. I used to probably do a lot of the different things. You know, sometimes I would stage manage. Sometimes I would just be helping in the front, helping in the doors, helping with security. You know, making sure no one gets in through the back door. Just many different things. And so, got to meet Joey Medina way back then too, and took my sister. My sister is, or well, she was, she's now a retired police officer from California. and she's pretty short. You know, she's only like 5'2" or something. I'm not sure, maybe 5'4". I'm pretty sure she's only like 5'2" though. And he told her this joke, just on the fly. And when I just met him, I was like, "Hey man, when you met my sister, you told her this joke because she said she was an officer, a cop from California, but then you noticed how short she was, and you told her, oh, what do? You get your nightstick out and put it on the floor and then step up on it and then you lift yourself up over the window. License and registration, please." It's a funny shit. I told him that about that joke, and he said that. He's like, "Oh, dude, I remember. I remember when I told her that." I was like, "Oh man, that's some funny shit." And so it's really cool that he actually remembered that joke. So I told my sister that, and that's just cool, you know. That you have a celebrity who remembers a conversation with you and a joke that they told you. That's pretty cool. So he might not remember who my sister is and what she looks like, but he remembers that experience in that conversation with her. So that's cool. And he came into town. He did another comedy show here. He had a few others. I know there's what's her name? Josie? Josie Armijo. Armijo. She's an Armijo. But she's an Armijo. But you know, in her stand-up, she called herself Armijo. So I'm just an Armijo. All right. Okay, not that one. Not that one. All right. I got to look at this balloon here real quick. So we're on the orange and then the red on the bottom. Finally. So yeah, that was last week. Got to meet Joey Medina once again and have a little quick conversation with him before his show at the historic Lobo Theater, which I hear, I didn't know this at all, but apparently the Lobo is the oldest theater, maybe in the Southwest, or no, the oldest theater on Route 66. So that's pretty cool. So it was just down the street from us, from ABQ Bite, on Route 66 right there, which is, to us, it's Central Boulevard, but, you know, to the rest of the world, people know Route 66, right? Get your kids on Route 66. So yeah, they had a comedy show, and then they did the after party at ABQ Bite, and I was hoping to be able to make it for that, but I couldn't. I had to step away. I think that one was the orange. So then I need to add the red. I hope so. I think that was the lime and the yellow. And then that's the orange, and then this is the red. I hope I haven't added red. If so, then it's going to be a double thick red. I wish I had a GoPro and I could actually give you guys a view of what I am seeing and the glass and everything. So that way you could see this. But I also don't know if the heat would be too bright, I think. It really wouldn't be too much anyways. I'm going to try to get this computer up and running now. And that way, if anyone does come on live right now, you'll be able to read some comments. Okay, then what's on the bottom? Let me just see what I did here. So then we go to the red. And then what? Did I just add blue on the bottom? Or a light blue? Is that what's happening here? Let me check. Oh, there, I guess I could just leave it on there and take a look. Or maybe what I did, I'm trying to remember what I did here. Oh, this whole thing got shifted, huh? Here, I'm going to bring you back up. Yeah, that'll work. Gotta lift that up so then it just sinks in just right. Okay, so I think maybe what I did is I added a little bit of black on the bottom there. To just darken it from red and then into like a darker darkness. Or is it just going to blue? I think I did. I'm pretty sure because I see this eclipses here and pulled. So I'm pretty sure I went into dark and then into blue. So I just have a little bit of this eclipse, which is like a black. So then that way that can just all get pulled down. So now we're just going to melt this all down. We're going to bring this into that balloon shaping. Alright, so I'm just going to melt in all of these lines of color now. So basically what we've done, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I've layered up all those colors there. Starting from the top and making these lines. So you might be able to see the wraps of each color. And I had to make them a nice straight line and then just start from the top and then work your way down one more, in order to make it look like this pattern here. And then we need that white on top of all these colors. And this balloon I see every year. The thing is, so Balloon Fiesta starts October 1st, which is coming up here really, really quickly. And I crew for Rick Jones from Concord, New Hampshire, and he flies a balloon known as Polar Dawn. It's got two polar bears on the top, a mama bear, baby bear, and so he's got this theme going with his balloons and with bears. And his first balloon had a bear on it, I think, or something like that. Then his next balloon didn't have a bear, but he called it Missing Bear. And then he created Polar Dawn. Now, Polar Dawn flies for Dawn Patrol. Now, those of you who don't know about Balloon Fiesta and what it is, it's here in Albuquerque, it's the world's largest balloon fiesta, I believe. There might be one more that just surpassed it, in attendance or whatever, but this one's been going on for so long. It's the 50-year anniversary this year, so it's a big deal. So it's been going on since 1972. Started with a couple of individuals who had a balloon, so some balloon owners that were doing a radio promotion, I think, for a car dealership. Now, don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure if it was for a car dealership or what it was for, but I do believe that I think it was a car dealership, and I believe that the owner of the car dealership owned a balloon, and he got the local radio station to do a report while they flew from Coronado Mall in 1972. There was 13 original balloons, I believe, that went up with him. So he invited some friends of his, and I'm hoping this year to replicate some of those original balloons that were part of the 1972 13 balloons. So, Balloon Fiesta is a bunch of individuals own balloons from all over the world, and they enter to be a pilot to fly during this festival or fiesta. So it's the world's largest balloon fiesta or international balloon fiesta here in Albuquerque. It used to be so many different sponsorships. I don't know who sponsors it now, but it's the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta to us, or the International Balloon Fiesta. And so for 2 weekends and a whole week in between, a bunch of these individuals will get together flying, and it started out with the 13 balloons, and now it's grown. I think in the year 2000, they had like over 2,000 balloons flying simultaneously in the air at once. And I believe we had a lot of different accidents and things that occurred that year. And so they started limiting how many actually fly together all at once during what they call a mass ascension of all the balloons going up all at once. So now you got a week's worth of events. It's not just one day like they did in 72. Now it's a whole 2 weekends straight with a week in between. You got opening day, which is huge, and big events that go on. They have music that happens throughout the day. There's a lot of vendors. There's a lot of food. Breakfast burritos are a huge hit here. We're known for our green chili. So people from all over the world come and they get breakfast burritos, which are usually eggs and bacon with green chili and some cheese. Maybe eggs and sausage with green chili. You can get red chili as well. But we're pretty much known for that green chili. But we're also known for red too. I mean, don't get me wrong. And so you get to try out all kinds of good foods from here. It's a week long. I believe that children under 12 and under are free, but the adults are like, I don't know what the adults are, like 15 or 20 bucks a pop, plus $20 parking. So it is a pricey event, but it's fun. And if you get to go, there are different events they have. They have competition days. The Children's Day usually is the day of all the special shaped balloons. Those are the ones that are shaped like different animals, different. There's a lot of different like marketing and advertising things. So you might get like a camera, and then it'll be like from Minolta or Canon or something like that, or they got the Arabelle, which is the big cow from Creamland. So people know about, well, I think a lot of people know about Creamland, Creamland Milk, Creamland Dairy. So yeah, there's lots of different things. We got Darth Vader balloon. It's just the head of Darth Vader, the mask. And I believe we have Yoda as well. And then the stormtroopers come out and they help the crew, and that's always a lot of fun. So that's a lot of fun for the kids for sure on those days, the special shape days. And yeah, it's so much fun. So then we're crewing. So for Dawn Patrol, that's what I volunteer for, and I don't get paid for any of this. I just go help out Rick Jones and help him make sure he flies safely and everything's good to go on his liftoff. And then we help him land. We basically chase him down. We're in communication with him with radios, and then also just visually, we're just watching him, watching where he's going. He's letting us know where he's thinking he might go, and then we try to just end up there. We have to figure out which side of the river he's going to be on, because there's only 3 or 4 ways to get over the river here. And so, you got to travel miles and miles and miles, north or south, to get to that next bridge. So, we have to know, like, are you going to be on the east side or the west side of the river? And sometimes he doesn't really know until later on in his flight, and he'll fly for a good 2 or 3 hours. So we might just sit around. Sometimes we'll stop and grab some donuts or something and just wait, watch the balloons, and we get to like watch all of the different, all the other different balloons and all the different crews, and maybe even help out a couple other chase crews, help them land their balloons and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun, If you're here in Albuquerque during Balloon Fiesta and you want to come help crew, I would strongly suggest it. It gets you onto the field. You don't have to worry about all that crazy $20 parking and everything. We'll meet up at the hotel where the pilot stays, and then we'll leave by 4:20 in the morning from there, so we can get onto the field before 5. We can get into our place before 5, into our launch space, and then we start unloading everything so we can be up in the air by 6 in the morning. So Dawn Patrol is the first balloons that go up in the morning, and they test out all the flying conditions, the weather, the wind, the different directions, because in Albuquerque you got this thing known as the box, where balloons will fly from they'll take off from like down here, and then they'll start flying south, right? And the higher they get, they'll start to slow down, and then they'll start coming back the other way, and then they'll start dropping down, and then the lower they get, they start slowing down, and then it starts, once they reach down in here, it pushes them this way, but when they're up here, it pushes them this way. And when you get in between, it's kind of like almost a little standstill. And so you can really that's how you direct your balloon And some individuals, like our pilot, he's one of the best in the world. I'm not lying. I'm not just saying that. He was actually like the president of the Balloon Association, and and he has a website that all the other balloonists use to track the weather and flying patterns and conditions and things like that. So he is one of the best, and he knows what he's doing, and he has a lot of friends out there, and it's so much fun to crew for Rick, because then after we take off, we chase him down and we help him land. We load up everything back into the van, and then we all come back to the field where we tailgate. We have a tailgate party with all the other balloonists from all over the world. So we get to meet people from all over the world, pilots, crew, their family, friends, just so many individuals. A lot of times we hang out with the same individuals, and I just get to see them again, because every year people are gone doing their own things until Balloon Fiesta comes back. So it's like this big family reunion here in Albuquerque. It's so much fun. And I've been actually making these balloons long before I started to crew. I got into chasing balloons with my dad, actually, long, long ago. It would be cool to actually take him out and get to see the balloons this year. It might be his last year being able to see the balloons and stuff with his health and things like that. And he was the one who would take us out, take us kids out, and we'd go watch the balloons. I don't remember if he ever really took us onto the field because it was so expensive. But we would go. I mean, the way it works, you can be almost anywhere in Albuquerque during balloon fiesta, and you will see balloons. Now, yes, of course, like I said, there is that Albuquerque box that we're known for, and sometimes the pilots will tend to stay and hover right above the field, and so maybe you only see the balloons up north, and you have to travel up north, like towards Paseo del Norte, or up in that area, Alameda, and then you can really get a good view of the balloons. And if you just find a place to park, you'll just have an awesome view of just watching the balloons in the sky and you'll just see a dot pattern everywhere. It's pretty amazing. So yeah, we would do that, and then when they would come down landing, we'd help them. We saw individuals start running towards them, and they would start grabbing the gondola, which is the basket where the individuals are standing in, and they would grab the basket and basically help to softly land or slow down the speed of the balloon, and basically help them land. And so we learned about this chasing balloons, and then you would ask that balloon, like maybe this balloon would come down, right? And you'd ask them, hey, do you have any cards? And they would give you this card, and then it would let everything on, everything that's in the back. So like, right here it says, Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta is a world-renowned attraction and destination for kids of all ages. The first week in October each year brings the smell of roasting green chilies along with the magical and beautiful moving picture show of hot air balloons floating gently through the crisp fall New Mexico air. Oh, sorry. From its modest beginnings in 1972 with just 13 pilots launching from a shopping mall, Balloon Fiesta has grown for 49 years into a largest, well now 50 years, into a largest and most photographed balloon event in the world. This is actually the most photographed event in the world, I believe. Besides, I'm all trying to think, what would be the next biggest photograph event in the world? I think this is it. I think it wins. Oh no, actually, I'm sorry. Explora now wins for the most photographs ever posted up online. I believe it's Meow Wolf. Which is pretty cool because they started here in New Mexico too, in Santa Fe. And a lot of those individuals came from Albuquerque. A lot of the designers and people like that. I was actually um, asked to go up there and work on it, and I had to turn the offer down because I couldn't travel back and forth to Santa Fe at that time. I didn't have a vehicle, so I was pretty much just local here. And yeah, that would have been so much fun to be a part of, but it's okay. I've never been, so now when I go, it's going to be an amazing experience. And I wonder if any of those individuals from that crew, like, I don't know if they've sworn this like whole thing of secrecy, sworn an oath of secrecy to never say what it truly is about, but there's supposed to be some kind of backstory that goes along with Meow Wolf and how like a family was there and something happened, they had to all leave, and you're supposed to figure out the mystery as to what happened and where they went or something like that. I don't know. I haven't been, so, and for you to really like try to figure that out, I think it would take multiple times. So see, we're almost there now, guys. So we got that white on top, and I do know that yeah, they have with a little bit more white, but we're just doing replicas or just a rendition of what it. We're mimicking the balloons. We're not trying to do each individual panel and each individual square on the balloon and all that, all the ribs and everything. We're not trying to make it 100% authentic replica to scale. That would be a feat, and if anyone can do it, it would be me. That takes some time, and I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing here with these. And I know also everyone who's purchased them for the last few years, since I started making these in about 2020, 2019, 2020, maybe 2021. So I've been making these for over 20 years now. And I've made so many different balloons for different pilots, different crews, different individuals. So I normally go out there during the tailgate party, and then we'll go hang out with all these other different pilots and crews, and that's when I start talking to them, and I have all my balloons already on me. I'm like, hey, did you know that I could replicate your balloon in glass and make a beautiful little necklace, a pendant for you? All handmade, one of a kind. No one else does this in the world. No one else does this in the world, at least not yet. So I'm the only glass artist in the world who does this, for now. Like I said, the game of glass blowing is cutthroat, and yeah, I know there are individuals who make glass hot air balloons, right? But they don't mimic and replicate them like I do like this. They don't go in and take the time to do color by color and then replicate them, and then also get out there onto the fields and meet the pilots, the crews, personally, individually, and then offer them to make their balloon for them specially. So that's the one cool thing that I love, the service that I offer, and just being able to go and hang out with them is just that's the whole fun of it. So then that's also part of the game. Like I said, that's also part of the fun of it. So When we take off at 6 in the morning, right? Everyone else takes off throughout the morning until about 9, 10 o'clock, and then you just wait for everyone to land, you know, and usually pretty much everyone's down by about 10, 11 o'clock at the latest, you know, sometimes a little sooner. So you get a good few hours in of flying. You know, 3 hours is usually a good long flight. If you get in 1 to 2 hours, that's also really good. So we get up there, right? We're the first ones in the sky. If we stay up there as long as everyone else, we get the longest flights in. And hold on. Sorry, I'm all trying not to breathe. I'm trying to do this very gently here. I'm trying to mash this up so it's not too much on one side and real evenly all the way around. So basically, we're up in the air, and then the other balloons start flying, right? And so depending on where we land, where they are, if they go back to the field or not, I might see them. I might be up in the balloon flying with the pilot, you know, at that time, and I could be seeing, you know, this balloon that we're making right now up in the sky, but I don't know where they're going to land. We might not, I mean, it's possible that we land exactly in the same location and place that they are, but that's highly unlikely. So we gotta then, you know, pack up our balloon and then get back to the field, and then hopefully I can see them driving in, and I think we all have a. Sorry, when I do these technical things, I have to like stop. But we all have like a picture or photo, usually on like our chase van, or you just try to catch them when you see them on like. Sometimes, like I said, I'll stay behind on well, I didn't say that today, but sometimes we'll take the kids out on that special shapes day, and I'll stay behind, so then we can just hang out and be on the field. And if I see them flying at that point and they're about to take off, then I have to try to run and catch them before they take off, and then try to talk to them real quick and be like, hey, I got your balloons made this year if you're interested. And usually they're like, wow, that is so awesome. Yeah, how much? You know? And some of them I can keep as easy as $20. But this one here, like you see, it's taking quite some time. So I'd probably offer this for about $30 to $40 instead. Alright, so now what we've done is we've added all the color. I put a little dot of clear glass to kind of make that, I don't know if you see on the card, it looks like that basket's just hanging from nothing. So we put that empty space with that clear, and then we add the dot of either butterscotch or caramel, or caramel, however you say it. I say it both ways, because I don't really know what the right proper way to say it. So I say caramels, caramels. So then I just melt that down to the clear, and I make sure that all of that is nice and sunk in together. So it's a nice, strong attachment. And then you got a little bit of clear in between right there to separate the balloon from the basket. And that's done. Now we can pop this off. And this is very tricky here. If you don't round this just right, you can't really grab it good enough. And you can drop this in your lap and burn yourself, or drop it on the floor and it get ruined from all the lint and dust and hair, dirt, debris. You just totally get ruined after working on that for so long. You know, you can drop it on your table and it gets full of all that too. So you got to be real careful. Make sure you got a good grip on that. And we'll drop it in the kiln before anything happens to it. So and I do try to hover it over my table to make sure if I do drop it, it's going to land on the clean glass over the kiln in case. Open it up, drop it in. Now it's safe in the kiln. All right. One more. One more for the live. Trying to see if there's any other ones that I really want to try to do. Let's just make a random one. Let's just have fun. Make some. I didn't get that close to me. You know, just use a lighter. And I don't burn my face. Alright, so I'm just going to round this down real quick. Get this ready for some color. It's 9 o'clock already. I think we started this stream about 8 or so, maybe a little bit before. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. We've made one balloon. Sorry guys, it took so long to just get it going. But maybe what we'll do is we'll come back live and we won't mess around with worrying about the whole wake and bake session and stuff. But I kind of wanted to talk about different things, different current events. We got the state fair going on right now. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it or not. I was really, really hoping that we could, but I am not sure. Okay, you know what? Let's try to work on this yellow one again. I'm going to try to get these colors just right. What do we need? We need that pink, red, orange. Pink, the red, the orange. And then what's the other colors? Is the blue, purple, green. Okay. Then we're going to add the yellow. We're going to outline those colors. With the yellow real quick. Alright, sorry I went quiet on you. I was just trying to color in these spots here with the yellow. Make sure I'm not missing anywhere. Alright. So now we got all of that covered with color now. So we got the yellow and then those stripes in it. So we got the different stripes. Okay, let me swap it out real quick. You can see this is the one that we're working on here. So there's the colors there. That orange is actually yellow. It's so hot. It changes color, but it'll come back to yellow. And then you can see all those colors on the side. Now we're going to give it a little bit of a twist. And this time I'm going to try my best to not twist it as much as I have been. And to do so, we're just going to attach a lid of glass right here on the top. And we're just going to heat up the body and Trying to watch how these spin. I don't want to spin it too much, but also not too little. Just going to try to give it that slight shift. And at the same time, we're also going to be melting it down too to get it sunk in just right. Okay, I like that. Okay, I think that twist is a lot better. So now, it's all twisted up. I'm going to melt it all down. We're going to get it rounded out. And then we'll add the clear glass to create the ribbing effect that the balloons have from each of the different panels and the different columns. I forget what those are called, what the correct terminology is. Maybe they are columns. So just helping to bring this glass down into the clear glass as well. We can flatten it all out, round it. You just got to get all the clear color glass, all that yellow that I layered on top of itself, and all those stripes. Just trying to get it all nice and smooth. Get rid of any ripples or any layers, any creases, any kind of anything. Just getting it nice and smooth here. So you want to do all your twisting before you round it out. You make sure you twist it as much as you want to. Because I could twist this more right now, but then I'd add those ripples back into it. I have to spend that time to round it all back down again. You make sure that you get it all done first how you want it. I'm just getting it round so I can add the clear glass now. And we can really make this look like a balloon again. Alright, so now we get our clear glass here, which I basically just got a rod, a 16 mil rod, and pulled it down to like a 7 mil. It might actually be smaller. I think it's more like a 5 mil. 5 millimeter. I'm just going to draw these down on the sides, making sure to not disturb the pattern underneath it. We don't want to overheat the pattern underneath it, but we do want to make sure that it adheres and fuses together. You need some heat there. And you want to lay this on where you keep it thick, so you don't really want to like pull on it too hard when you're laying it down. You don't want to flatten this glass, or more just kind of gently allow it to lay it on itself. Do some lines going across each other, starting from one side and then going across and going in between those lines like a crisscross pattern, and now going in between those for a total of 8 lines. And this is just the general basic way. I know that there are some balloons that might have more than just 8, but this is just to make it look and mimic the balloons. But like I said, if someone actually wanted it like, 100% accurate, they wanted it to have the same amount of panels and the same amount of different everything, I might be able to do that. Now lettering is really hard. To do something very tiny, lettering is extremely hard, but I might be able to do some if the letters aren't too much, maybe a 5-letter word or something like that. Alright, so now those got the ripples on them. I'm heating up the body of this hot air balloon here. And that way I can kind of mash it down into itself and make it a little thicker on its sides to really balloon it out. Alright, now we're going to do that again. So I'm really excited about Balloon Fiesta coming up. The only thing is, another current event, which is just mainly part of my life, or our life here in our family, is our car broke down. So we're without a vehicle right now. I've actually been on the bike again. So you guys have probably been seeing some of my bike rides. You joined me and captured some of the rides with me. Excuse me. We did the State Fair parade last Saturday. That was a lot of fun. Got to do some videos on the trails up in the sky just the other day. Maybe that was yesterday. And that was a lot of fun. It was very informative and educational. You should check that one out if you haven't seen it. I do believe that was from yesterday. It says, these trails in the sky are horrible today. I think that's what the title of that was. Alright. Excuse me. All right, you guys, we're gonna finish this one up here. Let's see, what colors do I want to have showing? Can I even tell what colors are showing? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I can just put this anywhere because it twists around so much. Oh, sorry about that. So I don't know how many of these balloons I'm going to get made before Balloon Fiesta. But usually during the Fiesta, like I said, we go out and I get to meet all kinds of pilot and crew and everyone and even individuals. And during that time, they may ask me and request if I can make their balloons. So during the whole Fiesta, I'll be crewing in the mornings and then rushing back home in the afternoon to try to get it done. There may be a day or two where we go back at night to check out the balloon glow, which is a nighttime event. They don't fly, but they stay grounded and they light up the balloons. So it's a really amazing event. It's one of the most photographed events in the world, and to be able to see these balloons, with the contrast of the dark sky behind it and then them just lighting up, it is amazing. And to see it, like, if you're up in the if you're in the mountain, you can see it from afar. If you're up in an airplane or a helicopter, that's amazing. If you have drones I don't believe you can fly drones around Balloon Fiesta Park. I believe that's a federal offense. But I think there is some individuals who have been given the FCC clearance to be a part of the Balloon Fiesta crew and to take footage for them. So they're the only ones who are licensed and permitted to do so. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. So I will do my best as they're live. I actually pretty much just go live, and that's how I create my videos. I'm not one for editing. I don't have time to sit around and edit every individual video that I make. If I have something important to bring to you, I'm just going to bring it to you and share it with you, old school YouTube style. I'm not all about this making it look like a professional production here. At least not yet. I don't have that time. I can't just sit around. I'm not even monetized. So that's not what I'm about. I'm just all about sharing my world and what happens in my life and the different events and different things. So I do appreciate you guys, those who are watching and those who have subscribed and who are following me on other platforms like Facebook, and I started doing a twitch.tv/DanTheGlassman, but I haven't gone live in a while because I need to get a new phone to set it up. My computers are way too slow, so I'm not trying to replace those too quickly, but if I can replace my phone, I can use the app on the phone there. So I was doing a lot of this live glass blowing on Twitch and then uploading it to YouTube. And that became a lot of work. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to do our own individual. If you want to watch me here, watch me there. We're just going to do individual live feeds at every single one. And they're all going to be a little different. And if you catch it here, you catch it here. If you catch it there, then that's cool too. So I do appreciate those of you who have come here and watched, checking out the glass balloons that I'm making. We're going to pull this one off of the rod now, the 16mm rod. So all the colors have been layered and twisted, and I'm hoping not twist it too much. I'm hoping that we really, really got this time. Alright, I'm going to just set that down. So every time I pull it, there's usually a whole bunch of extras, and then I have to pull it down to really get that color to be pulled down and tapered as well, and get that balloon to be tapered nicely as well. And then if you see on the bottom, there's what's called the skirting. It's that little bit of fabric underneath the balloon that's right over the gondola. That's actually where the wind will kind of grab a hold of that, and also the thrust from the air, the hot air, the cold air in the balloon, in the envelope, you know, it'll be able to come out. Some people have a scoop on there. Some people just have a straight skirt with no scoop. I think the scoop helps direction and things, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't been to pilot school yet. Maybe one day when I'm old enough, one day when I grow up, I'll own a balloon. If you're a balloon, you understand what I mean when I grow up. All a bunch of kids still flying out there. That's all they are. They're just a bunch of kids having fun flying hot air balloons. I swear. So much fun to meet every individual who comes out and flies their balloons during Balloon Fiesta. It's such a treat. It's an honor to meet people from all over the world, you know, and you get to talk to them and find out like what's going on in their part of the world. Most of the conversations, they really, you know, always talking about balloons and stuff, but, you know, sometimes you can scare them away from that mundane conversation. You know, that's all they talk about. You get them to talk about other things. All right, so now we're going to add that skirt on the bottom. I'm not really going to worry about if it has a scoop or not. We're just going to add some blue to mimic the skirting there. That's all, just like that. And then you just kind of melt it in so it all flows as part of that. So it's all one piece. And we got that colored dot right on the bottom there. And then we'll add that clear to create that space. So it looks like the gondola is not hanging directly from the balloon, but actually give it a little bit of that empty space there to really make it look like that gondola is like not attached. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but that gondola, the basket, it's only held up by like eight carabiners, right? Well, there's 4 carabiners, but there's 2 cables on each carabiner on the corners, and that's about it. There might be more on some of the bigger balloons. Not 100% certain on that, but you know, our balloon is just dangling off of 4 cables that are about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch thick. That's all that the basket's hanging from. It is pretty wild. All right, so there you go. How does that look? Yeah? Oh, yeah. I think if we made those colors thicker, drew the lines a little bit thicker, because that yellow is super thick in between. I'm noticing that the spacing, now my spacing's just not right. I got a lot more yellow than the color going on, but yeah, that's it. I gotta figure out that. I gotta make it a little thicker now. All right, let's drop this one into the kiln as well. All right, so now you guys know all of my secrets. All right, well, I'm gonna let you guys go because it's time for breakfast. And this video has been long enough. It's already an hour, almost 2 hours long. So it's time for breakfast, and yeah, that's about it. You guys have a beautiful day. We'll see you very soon. We got at least what, two or three balloons made today. I think that was only number 2. All right, well, I'm gonna come back and work on more, but I'm gonna let you guys go. So thank you so much for watching, for tuning in. I'm Dan the Glassman, and I appreciate you guys and your support and your love. If you like what you see, be sure to hit that like button, and also be sure to subscribe so you can get all the notifications on when I go live. Because like I said, I have no schedule. It's pretty random. So thanks again for hanging out with me. We'll see you soon. Love and blessings. You guys have a beautiful day. And if you can make it to Balloon Fiesta, come and find us. Polar Dawn Balloon. If you want a crew, comment below. If you're going to be in town, comment below, and we'll get you on the crew. All right. Later.